Ever since it was released a decade ago, iPads have been taking over the world. Whether it's the hand to a kid when you want them to quiet down, or to lie down on the couch and binge watch your favorite TV show, iPads have always been the #1 choice. But then there's school, and everyone faces the iPad versus laptop dilemma. As an engineering student myself, I can confidently say that having an iPad for school is an absolute game changer for note-taking and using digital textbooks, but it might just not be enough for some people. In a perfect world, everyone could walk into college with both an iPad and a laptop, but money doesn't grow on trees, does it? That's where this comes in, the Robo Kala 2-in-1 laptop. After using it as my main computer for over a month, there's no doubt that this device brings in the best of both worlds. This video is sponsored by Robo Kala, so instead of a review, here are my top 5 reasons for students to consider this laptop. The first major point, of course, is note-taking and assignments. This has always been one of the biggest drawing points, no pun intended, of the iPad for students, and the fact that you can't take handwritten notes on laptops can be a deal breaker for some. Well, Robo Kala offers a pen and a keyboard attachment, so you can choose whether you want to handwrite notes or type out research assignments. As a student, I've got to say this is seriously an underrated feature, and by itself would make up for the majority of what I use an iPad or a laptop for in school. Not to mention, GoodNotes, my favorite note-taking app on iPad, is finally available on Windows now. This app has been one of my main reasons for buying an iPad for university, and is literally the app I use all the time during school. Even though it is still limited in functionality, it's a huge step forward for Windows. This feature alone makes buying the laptop and tablet combo redundant, and while this concept has been around for a while with Microsoft's Surface Pro, Robo Kala offers it at a much more affordable price, which is also a big deal for students. The pen itself has a standard 4096 levels of pressure sensitivity, it includes action buttons, and can charge on the side of the laptop magnetically, getting 2 hours of use from 1 minute of charging. Great for taking a short coffee or washroom break while studying. On the other hand, the keyboard attaches securely from the pogo pins on the bottom of the laptop, and while you can fold it closed like a regular laptop, you can't actually fold the keyboard backwards and store it there when you're writing. But that brings me to one of my favorite features on this device, using the keyboard wirelessly. So when you're in a tight space, one of the biggest annoyances about devices like the Surface Pro is how hard it is to use on your lap. The kickstand either needs to be in an uncomfortable, almost vertical position, or you risk everything flying off your legs. But with the Robo Kala, you can just attach this keyboard and it'll seamlessly switch to Bluetooth mode, and you can continue using it like normal. This is also super useful if you're doing a presentation where you can connect the laptop to a monitor or TV and wirelessly control it from afar with just this keyboard. When it comes to iPad versus laptop, one of the major concerns is software. Even though iPad OS has gotten much better these few years, some things just work better on Windows. This may be already the deciding factor for many students studying where they need specific software and apps that only run on Windows. They'll often have to compromise on the convenience and digital note-taking of the iPad just because of the requirements from their program, or need to buy a separate tablet for note-taking, which can get really costly. You also get other benefits of having Windows, the easy and intuitive multitasking, much better file management compared to iPads, and being able to connect to multiple displays. This brings us to our next category, connectivity and performance. There are 2 USB-C 3.2 ports on the side of the laptop, both supporting PD charging and DisplayPort 1.4, and the device itself runs smoothly on the Snapdragon 8cx Gen 3 chip. Now, even though this is running an ARM chip, it actually performs really well. Apps open fast, there's no sluggishness or lag, and because of its lower power consumption, there's actually no need for fans, which means it's always cool and silent. And since the computer is behind a screen itself, the keyboard deck will actually never make your hands uncomfortably hot during heavy workloads. If you do need specific professional software though, make sure you do your research on ARM compatibility, but I've never ran into any issues while using general productivity apps. But one of my favorite features personally about this device is actually the upgradable SSD. This is actually a killer feature, especially when compared to iPads and really high-end thin and light laptops. For students, this will be super convenient and cost-effective if they need more storage down the line, and it also makes the device easily repairable as well. And not to mention, the base model or like the standard model comes with 16 gigabytes of RAM, which is definitely a minimum in 2023 now, and it also comes with a pretty good 512 gigs of storage. So really awesome job, Robo Kala. But anyways, as a student, one of the big factors when considering a laptop is the battery life. Whether it's a long day of classes or study sessions in the library, being stressed out about the battery dying or having to carry a charger everywhere you go is not a good feeling. Well, thanks to the ARM chip, battery life on this laptop is actually really great and can last a day under normal use. The ARM chip is also super efficient, so when it's closed in sleep mode, it barely sips through the battery. And another really cool thing because of the ARM chip is instant wake. So like whenever you close your laptop and you open it up again a couple hours later to get back to work, it just instantly turns on and gets you right back where you were, so you don't have to wait for the laptop to, warm up or like start up again, which is great. Oh, and one tip I just found out though is that if you want longer battery life and faster performance, Microsoft Edge actually got much more optimized now for ARM, so it's much snappier, faster, and uses less battery life than Chrome. And just like for Apple Silicon, as more apps get optimized for ARM, the device will get speedier and more battery efficient, which is exciting to see. Those are some of my favorite features about this laptop, and before I leave, I just want to talk about some of the hardware I didn't touch on. So first of all, this device actually feels great in the hands as it's only 7.3 millimeters thick and 690 grams, which is way smaller, lighter, and thinner to a comparable Microsoft Surface Pro. The full aluminum body looks great and unique with its green color, and the curved edges and rounded corners are comfortable to hold without digging into your palms. The kickstand is also quite sturdy and enough to support the laptop at any angle, so there's no problem with that. One suggestion for Robo and Kala is to add a rubber strip on the bottom though, so it doesn't get scratched up. The display on the front is actually fantastic for the price too, being a 2.8K OLED screen, which is razor sharp, and it has a brightness level of 600 nits, so you can actually see it in the sun. Colors are of course super vivid with amazing deep blacks, which are great for watching movies. There are dual stereo speakers on the side as well, but I wish they got a little louder and sounded more full. And finally, the keyboard attachment is really solid too, as it kind of feels like the Magic Keyboard but with more travel distance. I have no complaints about the layout of the keyboard, unlike the horrible one from Samsung tablets, and I love the addition of the function button that allows you to switch between the actual functions and shortcuts on the function row. The touchpad is about what you'd expect as well, with full gesture support, no tracking issues, and only the bottom can be pressed like pretty much all the Windows laptops. And before I forget, there's actually a front-facing camera for Windows Hello facial recognition, which makes getting into the laptop way faster than typing out a passcode, and there's even a rear camera for you to take photos and notes in a pinch when you need it. But yeah, I just want to throw out some of the hardware specs out there for those of you who care more about it, and overall, this device is just really fun to use and actually pretty solid value. I'll leave the most recent link with prices in the description and pinned comments below, and feel free to let me know if you guys have any questions that you guys want answered. And finally, thank you Robo and Kala for sponsoring this video. Make sure to smash that like and subscribe button if you enjoyed this video, and also check out some of my other awesome cool content. Have a good one guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one.